And I'm live. I have no idea how long I'm going to be live. Maybe just a few minutes. Could be a little while. Don't see anybody on, so that ain't no big deal. I'm in trouble sleeping. I'm in a little bit of pain. That's okay. Just didn't feel like sitting here and doing nothing, so might as well create some content. Or at least be up. Thought maybe somebody'd come on. They may not. Probably won't. After all, who in their right mind is awake at 4 o'clock in the morning? I shouldn't be. I'll stick around a couple of minutes. Tell you what I will do. I will go through and move this tab to a new window. I'll move it over there. And I'll look up duck races. Why not? All right. I'm already. Yep. And I'll run it with the folks that was here earlier. Why not? Nobody in their right mind would be up at this time. Oh, hey, Roadhog. Hey, Marines and Army Mom. Good to see y'all. We'll add y'all to the well, I guess I could go through. I don't know if anybody wants to come up, but I'll put the link down there anyhow. Right now I'm having some issues and some pain. Usually when this happens, I'm up for a little while. So I thought I'd come on. And I'll pin that just in case anybody wants to come up. Thought I'd go through and might as well have some duck races. Crazy to be up at this time in the morning. I know that it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, but that's okay. We'll go through here, delete all these. We'll just put Marines and Army Mom. Roadhog. Oh, let me share the screen. It's 5 a.m. there. Oh, wow. Hey, Sean the Bond. Good to see you, brother. I said Sean the Bond. Make sure I'm spelling it right. I am, I guess, well, I ain't no sense in, we'll put it 329. Scramble them. I can't sleep. I just went to bed. But it is what it is. And I may be up for a little bit. Figured I might as well. Go through and run something. If nothing else, maybe it'll help me with some watch hours. I don't know. I'm honestly surprised anybody's up at this time. But still, I'm thankful y'all here. Today, at some point, next weekend, we plan on going down to Texas. We're going to go see Devil Dog. Going to pick up a goat from him. And let's see what else we got going on. So today, at some point, we're going to try and go through. And today, we're going to try to get a spot cleared out and ready for the goat. Anyhow, I ain't going to be much good to nobody if I don't get any sleep. That seems likely. Roadhog got his Rhodes Scholar hat on. I look like I'm at the beach. I don't have a clue if I shuffled these or not. Don't remember. Just kind of chilling. Load up the dishwasher. Coffee time. That sounds like a good idea. Except for if I take coffee now, ain't no way I'll get back to sleep. Right now, I'm just in a little bit of pain. It keeps me from sleeping. But I've taken a couple of things for it. Hopefully they'll kick in. I really ought to spend my time cleaning up. But that ain't the way I do things. So instead, I think I'd rather just sit here and try to gain some watch hours. I don't know. I tend to be a bit obsessive. I was talking with Devil Dog a little bit earlier. He don't quite understand why I pay so much attention to these other channels. Fact is, I enjoy these other channels. Who's gonna take it? Roadhog looks like he's going the fastest, and bam, we'll run it again. Okay, here, hands to the dishwasher. I get that. I'll shuffle, shuffle. Believe me, I get that. I hadn't taken out the garbage. To be honest with you, I don't remember last time I ever took the garbage out. Tammy usually does, but it's, with the schedule, we don't want to put the garbage out there by the street too early. The dogs, dogs out in the neighborhood to get into it. But so, well, I guess I'm a unicorn. Oh well. Um, we put it out there too early. The dogs get a hold of it, tear it up, be all over the road, and we'll just have to pick it up again. Tammy gets up about 5:30 in the morning. She'll probably be getting up in about an hour and a half. And I usually am in bed by 2. Stayed up late tonight. Devil Dog seems to think I ought to work on my main channel. Or I think that's the way his way of looking at things. He typically, after all, I got a whole lot more people on there than I do my other channels. It does make sense from one perspective. We've had the dishwasher for a couple of years, but love it. Love it. Oh, I understand. When we do dishes around here, we typically do them by hand too. We got a dishwasher, but it quit working. I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, I think that working on these other channels, it's funny. You know, on one hand, I've been told before that me going on live all the time on my main channel just kind of wears folks out from seeing me. I get that. After all, I don't know anybody who wants to see this face all the time. I certainly can understand that. But I have a garbage can up by the house. My garbage runs on Thursday morning. I think it runs here twice a week. I think it's Monday morning and Thursday morning. I think. But our road ain't too far from here. 26 seconds left. But I think working on these other, it's funny with a channel like YouTube Police. I think the name kind of stands out, and I think the name. In fact, I've got some real anxious looks at it before. Let's run something different. No, we'll run it again. Shuffle it again. People tend to look at, when you come in. Now that was far from intended. I never intended people to be anxious about the YouTube Police. It just seemed like a name that would be memorable. After all, a lot of folks have been talking about YouTube Police for a long time. Let's see. The and when you enter a room, people do. You hear the same jokes. It's like, "Hey, the police are here. Run or hide your stash." Those are pretty common. Truthfully, I just thought it'd be a name that people might remember. There's several things I didn't count on. I, after all, I'm on YouTube. I am a police officer. I just thought, hey, makes sense. But apparently, it has caused a little bit of anxiety for some folks. Some folks don't think, some folks, I think I tend to, I'm a troll or something. I ain't no troll. Not that I know of. To be honest with you, I'm not real sure what a troll is other than somebody wreaks havoc in your channel. I think by that definition, I'm not a troll. I just try to come in and say, hey, I'm tired. Say, hey, hit the like button. Get to know some more folks. I guess I could do that on my main channel. But I don't know that people would remember Belt Loop. A lot of folks I don't think would remember the name. It's short enough, but I don't know. They do tend to remember the YouTube Police. But what I did not count on is somebody else grabbing my avatar and starting to use, I mean, I did a search for it. It just makes sense when you're trying to change names. Did a search for it. I didn't see any other ones at that time, but there's a lot of them now that I'm starting to, develop the channel. I think there's a bunch of them, although most of them don't have a whole lot of, subscribers. I don't know if they just didn't bother working at it, because it does take work. Y'all know that. you're trying to develop a channel, it takes some work, whether it be in content, time put in, getting to know folks. Looks like Roadhog's going to take this one. Congrats, Roadhog. The It does take a while to to develop a channel. For me, a lot of it's just going into different. I say work. I don't look at it as work so much. It takes time, I guess, and maybe dedication. You know, me and Tammy, we never had any kids, so I don't. You know, I guess I don't have any kids or grandkids to distract me. I say distract. I'd rather have the kids. Well, thank you, Road Dog. I appreciate that. I really do. I just tend to be a bit obsessive. You know, I used to be into sports a little bit. I watched NASCAR, watched football. Um, I used to watch TV, but I can't agree with a lot of stuff going on and a lot of these things. So, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they got a right to do what they're doing. It's just not anything I'm interested in. I feel like a dinosaur at times. You know, and truthfully, I'm thankful I'm closer to the grave than I am the cradle. You know, I don't like it when folks tell me what I got to think. I think everybody ought to have a right to think what they want to think, whether I agree with them or not. I think people ought to be able to have the freedom. And after all, I'm in the United States, we ought to have the right to pursue happiness how we see fit, as long as it don't infringe on somebody else's rights. So ready for football season to start back up. Did a lot of hangout streams last season while watching. Had a blast every weekend. Yeah, Devil Dog, he loves his football. I used to. Um, I just can't get into it these days. I enjoy the game. Of course, I guess if that was totally true, I'd watch more college ball. Never really got into college ball. I don't know why. My daddy loves watching college football. It was at his, well, that's probably where I got it from. Marines and Army Mom going to take it. The maybe make a little bit different one. I don't think I saved that one, so I'll have to redo it. Let's do the snail. We're going to do the fast snail though. Let me see who's on the list. I don't think I still have it. I probably still have everybody on there. I do. It won't take a minute to fix. Much needed 2 year break. I understand. I'll tell you what, just for that argument, we'll throw Devil Dog on there too. And we'll save it so I don't have to reset it every time. We're going to go fast. We'll clear that and make it a 329. Oh, let me mute it. You know, I have taken a break from YouTube. One of the things, though, that's different, you know, the I actually had so many videos when I was doing a lot of shorts. I had so many videos lined up of how to speak redneck and $5 words that I had 5 months worth of videos after lined up with about 3 a week dropping. But after that, I says, well, I guess I can start making videos again. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't remember what I was thinking at the moment. Maybe I just thought I need to start making videos again. You know, I do tend to be a little bit obsessive compulsive. I don't have TV anymore to watch. Can't watch most of it. I misspelled Roadhog. I'm sorry about that. I'll fix it next go round. I'm just so tired. I want to be able to go to sleep, but no. I like the fast snails, hate the slow ones. It does me too. I guess the main thing about it, again, I don't mind. Well, let's face it. There are some folks out there that the way they think and the way they believe I find revolting. I mean, you think about the folks that are members of the KKK and, you know, those people that just love to hate. That's all they focus on. I find that repulsive. Let's see. Call me late for dinner. I hear you. Um, hey, I don't miss meals if I can help it. That to me is revolting. In fact, let me tell y'all, I dated a girl one. I used to date a lot, um, but most of the time I got bored. Um, it's just the way it was. The fact is, I met a girl. She was, and I dated. I really liked her, and you know, I didn't know the win. Maybe I should take me off. Well, I'll just run again. Beautiful girl, really good personality. Then I got to know her better. You know, come to find out, and I met her family. To this day, I mean, they didn't say it, but come to find out, though, they had some really messed up ideas about, the races, about ethnicities, about, and they honestly believed it. I don't, I guess that part kind of I don't I don't understand. I mean, if you think about it, there's more differences between you know me and somebody else that looks very similar to me than there are between you know uh, other folks. I mean, it, I'm sorry I didn't fix that road hog. I meant to. I'll fix it. Um, hey, I've got friends that are white. I've got friends that are black. You know, I've had friends of every ethnicity. I've dated, women of every ethnicity. Well, except for Asian. I never dated an Asian woman. I would have loved to, but I think that, there's a lot of beautiful women that are Asian. That's beside the point. The But I found the woman that's right for me. Let's celebrate 35 years of marriage this year. I like the fast nails. But fact is, there's good people and bad people in any ethnicity, in any state, in any country. I think once you start now, I do think that different cultures do things differently. You know, and if you start looking at, well, for example, you know, at one point somebody tried to tell me that I was privileged, or had, I think they called it white privilege, something like that. Um, Life is hard without making it harder here on here with each other. Talk about more than I would like to. Okay, I do too. Well, I was raised to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I was raised in the church. The Shonda Bond for the win. Man, congratulations. I think it's best to try and help your neighbor. Um, I don't typically talk religion just because the fact that, well, religion's been used to beat a lot of folks over the head, just like politics. All right, I'm gonna fix that right now, Roadhog. I would rather do something that's going to unify than divide. Let me save that. A minute 29 is fine. See, I'd rather do something that's going to unify than divide. It's been my experience that, I don't know. I guess it takes all kinds. I get that. Competition does provide some things that cooperation doesn't. And I understand that. But I lean more towards the cooperation than competition. Kind of ironic since I'm running. Good morning. Hey, Tiffany. I'm sorry, I did not realize that you were not a mod in here. Let me fix that now. I'll get you on the next race. I'm just in a little pain right now, so I can't sleep. Um, but good morning. I think that we should all, hey, Blue Nose, good to see you. I think we should try to help one another. That's okay. You know, Marines and Army men, congratulations. It'll be all right. I hope. Edit lists. We'll take Devil Dogs off since he ain't here right now. Put Tiffany on there. Blue Nose. 1973. Am I missing anybody? Oh, I think everybody's on there. Yeah, hey, me too. Me too, Sean the Bond. Let me update that. The fact is, I don't want another job, and maybe that's why I'm hanging out on YouTube Police instead of Belt Loop 29, because Belt Loop 29 is monetized. I think I've already. We'll put it 229. Set it. Mute it. Shuffle it. Right. But I think that's maybe why I'm hanging out on so much on YouTube Police. It tends to be more fun to me. I think YouTube Police may be on a skateboard. Not a very good one, though. Just waking up, got my coffee, and say, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Hanging out and making friends is the best part of YouTube. I agree. Wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. It's a lot more fun. And I tend to, my mind, I tend to, I want it to be active. I want it to be, I don't know, maybe entertained or working or something. CFL. I'm going to make tea now. Cool. Tammy makes tea with mint. You know, we got mint here. She's probably got, I don't know how many different kinds. Um, she likes herbs. She's been growing, Tammy's been growing plants longer than we've been together, gardening. Um, I never planted anything before 2020. And then I guess I could tell you all that story. It ain't like there's a lot of folks here anyhow, or many ain't like many folks like to hear it. I mean, hey, 2020 hit us just like it hit everybody else. Your mint isn't growing, Tiffany. I would say be careful with mint. Mint tends to be very invasive. I'm running 2 sugars. Proper English. PG tips. Okay. Milk and 2 sugars. Proper English tea. I've heard that. You know that the English put milk in their tea. We just put mint. Mint is tends to be very invasive. Um, you might, if you're going to grow mint, try to grow it in a container, maybe. And there's a bunch of different kinds of mint. Tammy probably has at least a dozen out there. We got some out in the yard. Tammy, Tammy, like I said, she's been gardening for a long time, and she has a tendency she propagates, and she's a master gardener. I've been through the course for a master gardener. Kind of, well, what story was I going to tell you? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Um, I don't remember. It'll probably come back to me. Usually does. But she's been gardening a long time. I'm not surprised, Roadhog. Mint's pretty invasive. Makes the yard smell good though. It was actually it used to be in a bed out here that had concrete or stone around the edges, but neither are our chives, oregano. I barely have one dill plant. Then it does. Well, are you tending to it or are you ignoring it? I guess some things are best ignored. Other things require a lot of attention. Peppers, I mean, I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know what to tell you. Marines and Army. Um, I know that, let's see, stubborn seeds. Well, has it germinated? I guess is the question. And mint, I don't know that I would even try to grow mint from seed. Mint's just so readily divided or propagated. Yeah. And seeds can be more difficult. You know, some seeds, uh, some seeds you got to keep them moist from even from when you get them. Typically, your tropical trees have to be continued moisture. Other things have to be uh, what's the word for it? Stratified. You know, they have to require cold. I know that we've got sweet cherry trees growing here in Mississippi, and those typically require the reason why you don't see sweet cherry trees in the South most of the time is because they require a lot of chill time. Most of them do. I got some growing over at Mama's that don't require that much chill time. Only like 400 hours. Well, Mississippi typically gets central Mississippi at about 500, so that should be enough. But and I do need to pay a little bit more attention to some of them trees. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to them this year. That's very possible as well. The older the seeds are, the more the lower the germination rate. Be old bad seeds are just not our year for it. That's another good thing about gardening, though. Even if you have a bad year for one thing, a lot of times it'll be a good year for something else. Looks like Tiffany's about to win this one. Wait a minute, Roadhog coming up. Woo! Way to go, Roadhog. The If you're having troubles with germination, some things you can't. Seeds typically have enough. You don't need to worry about. You don't need to worry about nutrition as far as germination. I do know that the warmer the temperature, the, at least with a lot of them, especially pepper seeds, the higher a good 80 degrees would be a good temperature germination rate for peppers. I know that. Um, and if you're having issues with germination, a couple things to look at is temperature. If you have a seed starting mat, that's a good thing to have use. Um, you could have issues with, if you keep it moist. Sometimes you have issues with, like a fungus or gnats. Cinnamon will help with. Uh, Cinnamon's a natural antifungal, so maybe that would help. Some people with I'll tell you though, honestly, Tiffany, when it comes to mint, I think I'd just go buy some mint, let it grow, and then divide it. I do. We have started a lot of stuff from seeds. When, as far as seeds starting mix, some people would say coconut coir, others might say peat moss, uh, and have a mix in some perlite and some vermiculite. Well, I think that's what Tammy typically does. We do start a lot of things from seed, but mint I don't think typically is one of them, and that could be because there's so many different kinds of mint. I don't remember Tammy ever having any mint seeds though. Sean the Bone, something behind. Congratulations. But be careful when you do get it. Don't think that just because you're having issues with germination means it won't grow and it won't grow wild, because it tends to be invasive. But it's a great addition to tea. Let's see. Uh, it's kind of interesting to watch the way they walk. Marines and Army Mom, that almost looks like a strut. It's kind of cool. I don't blame you. If I was going to try to stay up, I'm going to try to get to bed and get some sleep. And I honestly looked for somebody that was live, and there was a bunch of folks that's live, but when somebody's got 1,000 people in their chat, it's not like you can get a lot of good conversation. And to be fair, these days, most of the time, I find the host and the people on the panel, in the chat, to be my entertainment. Let's see. And when there's 1,000 people in there, it's just kind of hard. Kind of hard to, well, really discuss anything meaningful, even a joke. Uh-oh, Sean the Bond again. Ooh, heading out front, the front runner. I agree. Oh, I tend to hang out mostly with small channels. Now, by small channels, I'd say most anything the twofer. You got that right. Um, Anything smaller than really, well, I'll say 10,000. Even though it can be a little higher, it can be lower than that. But typically the more folks on the channel, the harder it is to get to know them. It's it just tends to work out that way. A lot of folks got so much on their plate, and maybe I was feeling a little overwhelmed about it. Welcome back, Tiffany. Um, Maybe I was feeling a little overwhelmed with Belt Loop 29. But the funny thing is, you know, while it may not be, here's the thing: with my Belt Loop 29 channel, it's around 2250, which isn't a huge channel by any means, but it tends to be growing with it regardless of what I do with it. Well, I say that, but I think maybe some folks is coming over to it because on the YouTube police, I try to let them know, hey, I'm just another content creator, and and uh, and I guess sometimes I point to my other channel, say, hey, this is also me. So I don't know. Roadhog for the win. Sweet. Congratulations, Roadhog. Well, Tiffany, I think that typically, the more you get to know folks, the more you show up, the more people, are going to follow you, I think. I'm, I'm sorry, Tiffany. Yours, for some reason, I don't know why the letters don't seem as big as the others. I don't know why. Hey, I agree, quality over quantity. Scott and Miss Joy, oh, they're good people. I do like Scott and Joy. I enjoy going in there. They have, they're wonderful folks. Yeah, I just enjoy being on here and playing. I don't care to win. In fact, a lot of times when I go into it, I like to participate. I like to, be involved. I do too. Um, when I was younger and I first kind of got into computers and that type of thing, um, what I fell into wasn't they used to have chat rooms. And a lot of this is just like that. The chat. That's the part that's kind of drawn me to it. Um, see, and it was his Marine vet cap that kept me there. There we go. Well, that's part of what I'm saying. You get, hey, I love Miss Rebecca to death, but I don't care anything about yarn. The she's a sweet lady, and Canadian Family Life. Oh, I believe it. I believe you. The I like the people. Um, and you know what? Sometimes I talk about things. I know I run off at the mouth all the time, and I know that sometimes people, could care less about a subject I'm discussing. I get that. Roadhog. Like, that doing a road for you? I don't remember. Oh, Tiffany, you competing with Roadhog now. The I think a lot of times it's just the people. I tend to hang out. I guess I'm still going to go to those people that have been supporting me for a long time. I'm still going to go to their channels, and support them. Um, but it's funny because if you go through and you think about it, my type of channel ain't built for the long haul. Well, Belt Loop 29 may be, and all I mean by that is that a lot of the content is some of it um, some of it has potential to be watched over and over again, but lately I've kind of gone to where I'm doing a lot of live streams, and that's not much. Hardly anybody watches live streams unless you're trying to help somebody with at least a rewatch. Rewatching. Most people don't tend to watch old live streams, although sometimes there's some interesting content. Sometimes it's one of the reasons why I try to keep things interesting on my live streams. Although I can, they may not be so interested in watching, the races and what have you, but I enjoy them. But, like the trivia, I can watch that over and over again. This is kind of fun because you get to pull for somebody, and there's competition, and there's, it's just fun. Well, that and conversation. I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. I think I'm on. Tiffany, congratulations, you did win. Waving her hands up in the air, party hard like this, don't care. Don't stop, y'all. Sing life in different countries. I agree. That reminds me, if y'all ain't connected with Radio Jonesy, he's got a lot of beautiful footage down there. Make sure y'all check him out. Let's run it again. I'll shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. That looks kind of spread out evenly. The I totally agree. For that matter, I mean, there's a world of difference between being as far south as I am, and a lot of the folks. I had a few folks thought I was Canadian at one point. They sure, they certainly couldn't have thought it from my accent, but a lot of the folks I was hanging out with and their in lives and what have you was a lot of folks I do talk to are Canadian. They're good people. Well, I think I'm gonna hang out a little. Maybe another 5 minutes, I guess. Sorry you're back, Alex. Oh, that's okay. You won, Tiffany. Hopefully you saw that anyhow. I'm thinking maybe you didn't. I'm sorry if you missed it. You won. You ought to rewind it back to the last race. Because Tiffany sure won. She was on one of these red robots like this one right here. The well, you did. I promise. Um, it's not red. It's Irish blue. Okay, I can deal with that. Oh, Tiffany looks like she's gonna win it again. Woohoo! That's awesome. Congratulations, Tiffany. That's two in a row. Let's see. We got oh wow, eight people watching. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to decide. We got 4 minutes to go. Let's go through and we'll pick another race. Let's do the snails again. No, we'll do. I don't think I've done the superheroes, so we'll do that one this time. Maybe I have. I don't remember. I've run so many of these things. Let's see. We'll do 220 clear 229 because by the time I get all this set up and everything, yeah, that's about right. Let's shuffle, shuffle. Chasing after a puppy dog. I hear you. But I do think it's important to try to think of other people. I'm, you know, everybody's situation is different. And the struggle is real, but the struggle is different for different people. I don't tend to focus so much on the problems as I do the positives. And I know you can look either way. Sometimes I do tend to think about, sometimes I think about problems or I think about tough situations I've been in, things when times weren't so good. But I prefer to think that even when times were rough, there was a lot to be thankful for. I understand. Because there is. You know, I look at it like this right now. I'm in a room full of electricity. I've got a computer. I've got air conditioning. I've got a fan. I've got friends. I've got people I can sit here and talk to. I've got two wonderful dogs and a loving, wonderful wife. Best parents, and family anybody could ask for. I would have to be a pretty ungrateful person not to acknowledge these things. I've got transportation to and from work. I've got food in the refrigerator. Blue nose, congratulations. That's awesome. Um, you know, and I'll try to leave y'all with this. There, and it's about perspective. There's an old saying that said, "I was sad because I had no shoes until I met the man who had no feet." Well, guess what? There's always going to be somebody who's got it better. There's always going to be somebody who's got it worse. I'd rather be thankful for the gifts that I've been given. I realize that's hard for some folks, but that's where my focus is. I do want to say thank you for everybody coming in, and God bless you. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm not, I'm not. Well, it seems like whatever was ailing me is past, and either that or the medication's taking hold. Thank you for your time. God bless y'all. Appreciate it coming in. If you get a wild hair, I know that Butler Family Farms is working on 500, trying to get his in. He should get it pretty easily. But God bless you, Road Hog. I'm gonna try to go get some sleep. I've been up for a little over, with doing this for over an hour. So hopefully I can get some sleep. Hopefully I'll be able to. God bless y'all. 3, 2, 1.